So Trump says we're going to have Brexit plus. But what does that even mean? Well, we thought, what better way to try and understand that than to bring in an actual Brexpert. So please welcome to the program for the first time our brand new British correspondent, Gina Yashere, everybody. Welcome, Gina, welcome.
Thank you, Trevor. But before we get started, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Yes, there are black people in England. Idris Elba is not the only one. We are everywhere.
I knew that. It was you, it's Idris, and anyway, so Brexit clearly inspired Trump, Gina, you know, and now that you've seen its impact on Britain, what do you think that Americans can expect from Brexit plus?
Well, let's start with the economy. That was one of Brexit's major selling points.
If we leave the EU, we can progressively reduce the burden of EU regulation, create more jobs for British workers and cheaper prices for British consumers.
We will trade as much as before, if not more. We will not lose influence in Europe or in the world. On the contrary, you could argue, actually, that we'll gain in clout.
And those promises sounded great. But let's be honest, Americans, anything in this accent sounds great. Listen. Your children have just been eaten by a wolf. See? That sounds fantastic. But let's look at the reality. Retail sales in the UK have fallen for 3 consecutive months, while import prices have skyrocketed. And that hurts businesses, including a bunch of Jamie Oliver's Italian restaurants, because he can no longer afford the spices from Italy. So no spices is death for British restaurants. No one has ever tasted English food and said, you know what this needs? Less flavour.
And Gina, I can only assume that it's also been really bad for your currency.
Yeah, Trevor, it's been horrible. Brexit has crushed the pound. It used to be worth nearly $2, but now it's only worth $1.20. OK, let me put this in perspective. The pound was so strong, I used to fly to the States just to buy Reebok pumps. Me and my friends used to come out here for weekends. We'd have empty suitcases and we'd fill them up with leather puffer jackets, sneaks, gold dookie chains, you know, and then we'd go back to London like, what, Brooklyn, mofo, what? Brooklyn, bitch, what? Trevor, you must remember those big gold rings that used to get back in the day, the big ones that went right across your fingers with your name, you know? Now the pound is so weak, I have to tell people my name.
Wow. This is really hard. It seems like Britain cutting itself off from the world hasn't helped the economy.
Of course it hasn't. Things haven't been this bad for Britain since Piers Morgan came back. You can have him back if you want. Look, it's not just the economy. The Brexit people promised that if we voted for them, we'd get more money for healthcare.
Every week, we send £350 million to Brussels. That's enough to build a new hospital every week.
This message was emblazoned on buses. We send the EU £350 million a week. Let's fund our NHS instead.
Wow. So let me get this straight. People were promised that if they voted for Brexit, then £350 million a week would get pumped into healthcare. Did that actually happen?
No. And it probably never will. Which is ridiculous because they even had it written on the side of a bus. They put it on a bus, Trevor. I trust buses. No, that's how I know The Voice is going to be on at 8/7 Central. Buses don't lie.
So Gina, between healthcare and the economy, it sounds like Brexit is making everything go down.
Oh no, Trevor, not everything. One thing has come up nicely.
I feel like you're going to say racism.
It's racism. Look, let's not forget, racism was the secret sauce in the Brexit burger.
The number of reported hate crimes jumped significantly by 58% following the Brexit referendum.
And can I say, we want our country back!
It's all about immigration. It's to stop the Muslims from coming into this country. Simple as that.
And that was a racism mic drop. Islamophobia, bitches!